Hi, welcome back. Right, so I'm following up my short that I did last night regarding Liverpool and the match yesterday. No complaints from me. They were terrible. Simply not good enough. Any team that Liverpool should put out should be good enough to beat the bottom of the Championship. They weren't simple. But I do think it shows one thing. The actual first 11, first 13, 14 are amazing, brilliant. Can't fault them this season at all. I think the problem is, and I think it's been a problem for the last couple of years, that we haven't strengthened. The depth below is not good enough, and that proved it yesterday. I also think there are some players there. Personally, for me, Diaz, Nunes, they're not good enough. Diaz started brilliant at the start of the season, but if you look across his goals for Liverpool since he's been there, it's not good enough. And he's definitely not good enough to play in the number 9 role, which is what they've seemed to do this season mainly. Started really good in the Champions League, hat-trick against the Bayer Leverkusen. But since then, I don't think he's done anything. Nunes, when he first signed, I was really happy. I can remember one of the times we went to Anfield, I think he played against Liverpool. He scored twice, offside. To be fair, that kind of sums up his game, I think. He's either brilliant or terrible and he shouldn't be on the pitch. So, what does this leave us with? I think, personally, this is a massive summer for Liverpool. We've got the 3 contracts. The most important contract from that, for me, I think is Virgil van Dijk. He needs to sign a new contract. I don't care what anybody says. Personally, for me, and I'll argue with anybody, he's the best centre-half ever in the Premiership. Don't care about your Rio Ferdinands, don't care about anything. Man United fans, don't come at me, right, and say all this about Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, or, he's only one thing. You tell me for years that Brian Robson was the best midfielder ever. Right, what did he win? Okay, he won Premier Leagues at the end, but was he playing? No, he came on for 5 minutes. So only winning one Premiership doesn't mean anything, does it? It's that individual performance. You tell me when the last English defender was top 3 in the Ballon d'Or. Virgil, no one else. So if Robson was the best, compare him to what he's done, what he's won, what Virgil's won for Liverpool. So we'll argue about that. So that's the main one for me. He has a sign. Out of them 3, personally, Virgil was the one that needs a sign. You've got Trent. Now, personally, I think Trent's gone. And I'm not... Would I like him still to stay? Yes, I would. Or what I would say is I would be more worried if Klopp was still in charge. I think he was essential to Klopp's team. I think this year he's still playing as good, but I don't think he's essential. We've got a perfect replacement in Conor Bradley. I think we do need 2 to replace Brent. So one of them would be Conor Bradley, and I do think there you should sign someone else. It's basically to back him up because he's still young, but he's still playing well. Salah, I think if the numbers work, sign him. If not, I think if you look across the world, I'm not saying world class, but you might be able to replace his goals with a couple of players. Personally, like I said, I think Nunes needs to leave and Diaz, so you might have to replace those. The only thing for me is, I just think as well, the reason I think Salah might sign, and I think he wants to sign, I think the problem for me is the contract you give him is what you're going to have to spend more to replace him. But are you only delaying that by 2 years? We're not signing a Mo Salah that's like 26, 27, and we're not giving him a 3-4 year contract. He's 33, I think he was going to be soon. So that's my problem. And then that's the main thing for the summer for me. I do think we've got to add more depth. That proved yesterday that the depth is not there. So it's a big summer, definitely. I think we need a centre half that can play. Maybe left hand side could fill in on that side as well. Definitely think, like I said, I would be replacing 2 players. Jota, I think you've got to make a decision on him at the end of the season. Amazing player, but the problem is, it's like, you look, he came on against Nottingham Forest, played 20, 25 minutes, scored, and you didn't see him for another 2 or 3 weeks. So if you can keep him fit, I think he's perfect. But that's the main problem, is keeping him fit. If not, I'm not really sure who we replace him with. But I do think we need to do an upgrade on both, like I said, Diaz and to be fair, what we're going to miss, they're not scoring regularly. I don't think either of them creating regularly. Okay, you'll get a good day like you had against Brentford where Nunez had come on and scored twice. But that's it. And it's very rare. So I think it's a big summer. A very big summer. I think we say that every year. I'm not FSG out or anybody like that. I think they've done amazing. I know lots of people out there disagree. If you look at the stadium, if you look at what we've won, we're not in debt. Too many people forget. I think it's a balance in that. Too many people forget that we nearly went to an administration, but I don't think that can carry on forever, and I don't think they can get away with saying we saved you from administration, or people can't use that as they've saved us from administration. You've got an advance a club, and obviously they did with the training ground, with the stadium. Stadium looks amazing. But I do think they've had their ass saved by Jurgen Klopp in the last couple of years. And that's the reason we've carried on doing well. We've had an amazing manager. Luckily, we've had another one come in. But I do, like I said, I do think that it's time to spend some money now. When we bought Virgil and we bought Alisson, that made us go on to the next level. So that's the next step for me. I think there are, like I said, forward line. I think you could end up really with maybe 2 of the front 4 or 5 left this season in the summer. I think we can do an upgrade on them. And I know people are going to come back and go, oh, we're top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League, but it doesn't mean anything because we haven't won anything yet. So I do think in January that's when we should have strengthened, and definitely we should have, I felt, got a full back central defender, basically another body to back there, and a centre forward. Like I said, let me know if you agree with me or not, and drop them in the comments, and then we'll come back to it later on in the week and discuss the matter. And like I said, if Man United fans, Chelsea fans want to come at me about Virgil, I'm quite happy to give you some evidence and fight my corner. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.